All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Thursday. Let's go over some of yesterday's market news and then go into today's. So, firstly, stock futures closed lower this morning. The S&P and the Dow are both closed uh, yesterday's session in the red. Um, Firstly, we have the barrel rollout. So, the IEA, the International Energy Agency, agreed to release 400 barrels of oil from its reserve. We still have no clear timeline on when. President Trump said he will release 172 barrels from its stockpile. Um, it would take about 120 days to deliver those. The Strait of Hormuz is still disrupted. Three more ships were attacked in the Persian Gulf overnight. This is all kind of increasing uncertainty in the oil sector. So let's take a look at that real quick. So we can kind of see last night and even moving into this morning's pre-market session, oil has been on the rise. This is probably due to just uncertainty with everything going on in the Strait of Hormuz, and the 170 barrels released is mainly for kind of short-term easing. So uh, these prices are um, kind of replicate uncertainty in the market. So all right. Next, we have consumer prices, which rose 0.3% month over month and 2.4 from a year ago. So this kind of relates to Wednesday's CPI that we got yesterday, which didn't really move the markets at all. Kind of expected the markets to almost run with that, but um, with yesterday's inflation data, as well as the oil situation, we kind of expected more sellers to come in, or at least some type of movement during the market here. We also have broad tariffs, which were struck down by the Supreme Court last month. Trump is launching a new trade investigation into several U.S. trade partners. List of trade partners in these investigations include Mexico, China, the EU, Japan, India, and Vietnam. So the U.S. is trying to enact tariffs on these countries. So we'll see how that plays out. Google selling this was big news yesterday. Google selling a partial stake in its fiber unit, GF Fiber, and is now a minority owner in a new company. So it'll combine with Astound Broadband and become an independent provider. And Google's the minority owner of that. So that has implications in the AI infrastructure and also fiber infrastructure. So, with all that being said, I have an ear out for any new news that might come out today. And I'm getting into marking out yesterday's levels. And let's develop a plan for today. So, previous day low, pre market high, confluence here on the Dow Jones. So we might see a push up to these highs and expansion upward potentially. if there's uncertainty in the markets, we could see this push come lower. Dow's been moving pretty heavily with the oil markets, I think. So I'm looking for some movement on Dow. Let's move over to the S&P. We have the same confluence here, pre-market high, previous day low. So be interested to see what the S&P does in this range at market open, where the volume comes in, when. We have a bit of a downtrend here. I think similar sort of trend line on the Dow. Okay, the Nasdaq. A little more noise on the Nasdaq, but we came up to the sort of this previous day low level, and we came down from it. So we kind of chopped around here the past few days, and now we're below that level. So we're gonna see if we're accepting lower levels here today. I'd love to see these markets come lower. So I'm looking for shorts below these levels, longs sort of above. We'll have to see how these markets sort of trend, but I'm looking for shorts break below the pre-market lows. We might end up doing that in the pre-market. Longs above the VWAP towards previous day highs or pre-market highs if we get a strong bullish sort of break of that area, pre-market levels, pre-market highs, previous day lows. All right, we're closing in on market open here. In the pre-market, I'm liking ES. All right, market is about to open here. We got the Dow running towards pre-market lows. S&P approaching, looks like a support level from a few days back. I like this short here, but I did not take it. There was not a lot of room. And then obviously now we're on the upside, so yes, higher highs, higher lows. NQ, we have like a SMT here on NQ and ES. We have this high is higher than, this high, higher than this high. Yep. Now it's setting up for potentially more shorts. Potentially. I'm gonna break below this line or a close below it. Yes, looks good for a short, or it's starting to set up for a short, I should say. Lower low on ES. ES is definitely pushing lower. NQ broke the lows. I wanted to enter right here, but the I didn't get my entry. Price just moved too quickly. This is the 5 minute, literally a big wick. So on the 5 minute, we're looking for shorts, and we got a little bit of expansion, and this is the first pullback. Just a little bit of expansion, more expansion on NQ. Big rejection off the moving average. So let's see. This is already like a huge pullback or slash swing up. So I'm not even sure I want to take this. We broke the high on the Dow. Okay, so NQ had a lower low, expansion here, and then instantly broke the lows. So NQ is definitely showing that bearish momentum. Yes, trying to approach. I would love a little pullback for a short entry here. NQ set up for a short entry here. YM set up for a short entry. ES, the one with momentum, which I want to trade, has not showed me that yet. Actually, ES shows me higher highs, higher lows. So this is kind of telling me structure is going towards the upside. See if NQ breaks these highs. ES did. There's NQ breaking the high. So now we're above the 5 minute high. We have a doji, so let's see how this 5 minute bar closes. Looks like we're getting a somewhat of a rejection off the pre-market lows. NQ's below the pre-market low, so we could see NQ really take a dip down here. Iran warns on $200 a barrel oil. And the Dow's right back, and the S&P's right back to where it opened earlier today. So we did not hold any of those lower levels that we thought we were going to yet. Lower high on NQ, higher high on ES, so a little SMT divergence there. I think I'm expecting NQ actually to break these lows now. Potentially. We had a little expansion, nothing crazy. Break below the low here on NQ. setting up for shorts now. See how we close these. If we can break on a yes as well. Very bearish close on a yes. Very nice. Okay, higher high, higher low. So there's my pullback. I'm looking for a bit of a rejection off these levels. Might even come all the way up to the moving average. Alright, so at this point in the trade, kind of go a little quiet. I got my entry, you'll be able to see it here. It's exactly where you see I have the sort of the market order, the stop order placed. That's my entry, that's my stop. And you can kind of see how the trade plays out and how I manage it. I'd love a continued push here down. We're in shorts on ES, so I'd love to move my stop loss right here, get another push down, take some more profits. All right, took a trade, took some profit, and we're out. This was the initial trade right here. So I'll draw it out for you guys. So I'm out of the markets now. That's the trade I took. That's all my trading today. Do a little market recap. So biggest takeaways today. We have the Iran situation that's still unfolding. The oil kind of situation that's still unfolding. Looking out for gold, for oil. So it's actually setting up for nice longs. We have the AI bubble that's still sort of expanding with increased AI infrastructure, potentially taking away jobs. That's a concern. So just things we're looking forward in the next week, 2 weeks, tomorrow, see how the market moves. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back tomorrow.